The emotional trap. Your student is going to fall in love with the campus. That is normal. That is human. The problem isn't the emotion. The problem is when emotion becomes the only criteria for the most expensive purchase your family may ever make. They love the campus. Their friends are going there. It feels right. Then the financial aid letter arrives. A $65,000 college offers $8,000 in aid. Suddenly, the dream school becomes a financial burden. What most families don't realize is they've already given away all of their leverage. They submitted the FAFSA, the CSS Profile, and all of their financial information before they understood how colleges would evaluate it. They walked into the process blind. Think about it. No one buys a home without getting pre-qualified. No one finances a car without knowing what they can realistically afford. Yet families routinely file the FAFSA before they know their student aid index, before they understand how colleges will view their financial profile, and before they determine whether there are legitimate opportunities to strategically lower their SAI. Why are we waiting for colleges to tell us what we can afford? We should know that before we submit our financial information and engineer our outcomes by pre-qualifying to determine if there is opportunity to reduce your student aid index. The colleges already know the rules. They know how they'll evaluate your finances. They know how much institutional aid they're willing to award. Shouldn't your family know where you stand before handing them all of your financial evidence? That's exactly what strategic families do differently. Before they submit a single application or file the FAFSA, they run a financial analysis, not to remove emotion from the process, but to put it in its proper place. When you pre-qualify for college, it helps you and us determine your student aid index and how colleges are likely to evaluate your financial profile. We identify colleges that are most likely to invest in their student through institutional grants, scholarships, and need-based aid. And more importantly, which ones won't. And when appropriate, we identify legal and strategic opportunities to improve their financial position before filing the FAFSA and CSS Profile. That analysis answers 4 critical questions before a single application goes out. What type of college can we actually afford? Which colleges are most likely to pay us to attend? Which colleges are likely to expect us to pay full price? What will our true net cost be at each school? Can a $60,000 school become $30,000? Can I go to a private university for a public school cost? Our data tells each family the answers to those questions. Understanding your finances from a college's perspective, not an emotional one, is just as important as academic and social fit. Colleges think like businesses. Families need to think the same way. Think about it this way. You want a Range Rover or another dream car. Emotionally, it makes sense. The status, the look, the feeling of pulling into the parking lot. But you also know the real story. The price is difficult to justify. The maintenance is expensive. Over time, it costs more than it gives back. So instead, you buy the Lexus or a more suitable car for your family. It gets you from point A to point B. It's reliable, affordable, and accomplishes the exact same thing as your dream car. And honestly, the people who matter never cared about the badge on the hood anyway. They cared about where you ended up and what you accomplished. College is the same decision. The school that fits academically, financially, and socially may not have the name that looks best on a bumper sticker, but it gets your student to graduation on time with manageable or no debt, meaningful opportunities, and the freedom to start the next chapter of life without a financial burden following them for decades. At Diversified College Planning, we don't wait for the FAFSA or the college to tell your story. The student makes the college doesn't make the student. And where you end up matters more than where you went to school. We calculate your student aid index before you file, identify opportunities to strategically improve your financial position when appropriate, and show you which colleges are most likely to work with your family's finances, your student's academic portfolio, and graduate on time and on budget. Because the best college decision isn't the one that creates the strongest emotion. It's the one that creates the strongest future.